Hello, testing, and we are live. And nobody is here quite yet. Cam, I'm so sorry I'm late, dude. Cameroonian. Cam the Cameroonian. Test went live. Sorry for the delay. Test went. How's everybody doing? Nobody's here yet. It's okay. What's going on, everybody? Oh, we are going to be looking at some motherfucking matchups. All right, let's get comfortable. Go. Here we go. Where the boys at? This is what happens when you start late. Nobody's here. Will we get demonetized if we play music? That's the question. Fill some of this empty silence. Fill some of the white noise with some music. Play some jams. What do you guys think? Who's in here? We got some live view. Oh, we got some viewers. What's up, two viewers? Who's in here, man? Hit the chat. Say what's up so I know people are actually here and I can start. We got a late start. I apologize. How we done? Alright. Any news? There's been pretty much no news so far. It's too damn early. It's too damn early. What's up, Charlie? What's up, Rockwell? How you guys doing, man? How you guys doing on this Sunday, dude? Are you guys still in it for the playoffs? I'm out, dude. I'm out in my most important league, man. Lamar Jackson failed me. I needed to essentially win out. Traded for him, too. Hate to see it. How are you guys doing? This is your safe space, man. Your safe space to vent about your fantasy woes. We're gonna be looking at matchups, dude. We're gonna be helping people with sit starts. We're just gonna be chilling, man. Chilling, hanging out, checking out the news as it rolls in. You know how it is. Kyle Warren expected to play. Fire him up. In it in Dynasty. Listen, man, I don't know. I don't know about you, but I care so much more about redraft. Like one league specifically. It's like all my hometown buddies, all my college bros, all the fraternity boys that we're all still tight. And we meet up every year. It matters, man. It matters so much. I don't know why. The funny thing is, like, when you win, nobody gives a fuck. Nobody congratulates you. Nobody is stoked for you. It is cutthroat. So like even when you win, it's like bittersweet. It's like, well, I'm the Empire now. I'm the most hated man around. But Dynasty is still dope. It's just for me, I feel like I can't get Dynasty right, brother. I can't get it right, dude. I can't get a winning team. Like I can't build a dynasty. I don't know. I gotta really roll up the sleeves, dude. Hit the fucking the spreadsheets or something. It is brutal. I might have to start taking tips from the Discord from you guys to help me out. Damn. Spock, what's up, bro? Welcome, man. What do we got? Fannin, Vidal, Woody, with a little bit of a tight end premium. Fannin, Vidal, Woody. Let's break it down. Let's break it down. I want to see uh, who the Browns are playing first. I'm sorry, dude. I don't have the matchups. I don't have all the matchups on the off the top of my head. Um, there we go. Give me a second, man. I'm still getting everything set up. Live streaming is a bitch, dude. Requires so much setup. All right, so we got 49ers Browns. Let's have a quick look at who the 49ers type of defense they play. So they play zone 75% of the time, and Fannin actually is pretty good against zone from what I remember. So Fannin's an interesting one there, man. In a tight end premium, the 49ers secondary is beatable. I just want to quickly see how many points they've been giving up to tight ends. Because I think I leaned Fannin there. I think Vidal, he's so hot or cold, bro. I don't know if like, are you going to play him on the week that he hits, that he's hot, or are you going to play him on one of those 2 point weeks? You know what I'm saying? It's like risk mitigation at this point in the season. Cameron, what's up, baby? Cameroonian is in the motherfucking house. Um, the 49ers have been kind of struggling against tight ends. So Fannon's actually a nice, and they've also given up 7 touchdowns on the season. Last 4 weeks, they're even worse, bro. Last 4 weeks, San Francisco is, what is that? 28th worst against tight ends. I'd probably go Fan. Nah, dude, I don't know if I can go Fannin in such a low over under, man. 35.5 over under there. Vidal and Woody. Vidal and Woody. Damn. Woody is kind of Woody against the Colts. Do we like Woody this week against the Colts or Vidal against the Raiders? From what I remember, the Colts have been getting kind of beat up against running backs. Check that out, dude. 28th worst. Spock, I'd honestly flip a coin between Vidal and Woody. I feel like Vidal just on a better offense, playing against the Raiders. I probably lean Vidal there. I know I was talking up Fannin, but It's just such a low over under, man. We're talking 35.5 point over under. I like Woody as well, man. It could be a back and forth game. It's kind of a must win for both teams. Like if the Texans take this game, they essentially flip. They don't flip the table, but that's a 2 game swing, right? But oh man, I don't know. Woody's an interesting one to me. Woody is an interesting one to me for sure. We just we see the workload. 16 touches on 74 yards, only one catch in the last game. It was the receiving work. The games that he does well, the receiving work really saves him, or he gets touchdowns. Um, I'd go Vidal personally, Spock, but that's just me, bro. Let's get grateful one in here. Theo Johnson or Tyler Warren? Go with Warren, man. He's playing. And against the Texans, one of the few soft spots that they have in their defense, you can't really beat them anywhere. But I feel like tight end could be the small little tiny weakness they have. They are sixth best against tight ends, but they're like top five against every other position. So you just know that Warren is going to be super involved around the goal line. Theo Johnson, a lot of end zone targets, a lot of end zone targets this season, but he's not converting any of them lately. I'd go Warren. I'd go Warren personally, man. Like, let's not forget that the Giants are playing the Patriots, man. The Patriots defense is legit, so um, it's a nice over under, but there's a chance that the Giants just get shut out here. I would go with Tyler Warren personally. Spock, am I benching Lamar? I'm definitely benching Lamar. Absolutely, I'm benching Lamar. I have in my league, I got Jackson Dart. I should have played him this week. I just saw that Cincinnati matchup, and I'm like, bro, he's got to get right, right? But I'm playing Jackson Dart rest of the season. Lamar Jackson hit the showers, buddy. Bucky or Neil? I'm going with Neil there, man. Hayden, welcome by the way, Hayden. Make sure you guys like the stream, dude. Help your boy out. Help your boy out. Reach more people to talk fantasy with. Like the stream really helps. I'm going with Neil there, man. Just I don't like the fact that he's going to be on a snap count. I saw earlier in the week the coaching staff said he's going to have a similar snap count or a similar workload to Chris Godwin in his first game, and that's about 20 snaps. So I do think it's going to be one more week of Sean Tucker, in my opinion. So you might as well play Neil. Like the risk is that on a low amount of touches, Bucky busts one, but I mean, go with the opportunity, go with the volume, go with the guy who's expected to be like a true workhorse for the Saints. How's everybody doing, man? How the fuck are you guys? Leona, what's up, Leona? Welcome. Tyler Warner, Darren Waller. That's actually a good question, man. I have or lady. Um, so the Saints. Let's have a look at how the Saints are doing against tight ends. That'll give us a little bit of an idea whether we like Darren Waller this week. They're 19th worst. They've only given up one touchdown in the last 4 weeks. Um, Saints are 19th worst. They've only given up 195 yards against tight ends, one touchdown. Oh man. B Mags in the motherfucking house, dude. What's up, B Mags? How you doing, man? You know what? I'm going with Tyler Warren there, Leona. Let's not get cute. Tyler Warren's a stud. He's so involved around the goal line. Go with Tyler Warren. Darren Waller in his first game back, we don't know how that workload's going to be. I mean, he had a pectoral injury, so he should be back to like full speed, right? He doesn't have a lower body injury unless pectorals are now on the lower body, but I'm pretty sure that's your titty. Pretty sure the pec is the tit. So we just don't know, right? I want to see Darren Waller one game. Like just for a little context, I'm starting Brenton Strange, and I have Waller. Now I'm out of the playoffs in this league, so I'm playing a little bit, fast and loose. But go with Tyler Warren. Go with Tyler Warren. Divisional game, back and forth. Both teams in a must-win. Tyler Warren could find himself in a real cockfight. Fizul cannot comment. Fizul is in the motherfucking house as well, but he cannot comment. Let me make sure. Who can send messages? Subscribers. Ooh, I have it set to subscribers only. Does that mean Fizul's not a sub? Damn. Fizul, you've just been outed. Should I change it to non-subs can chat as well? What do you guys think? What should I do? Should I change it so anyone can collaborate, communicate? I'm gonna let the chat decide here. Do I let anyone send messages? Cam, what are you doing, man? Thank you, dude, for the 5 buckaroos, but no need, man. No need. You're part of the inner sanctum, Cam. Inner sanctum. I appreciate it though, man. B-Mags, you tagged me in something on Discord. Sorry I didn't see it, man. I was trying to set up this damn live stream. Let's have a look. Let's all help B-Mags here. Dude, no beer, man. Shops are all closed on Sundays here in Deutschland, so I can't go grab a nice, brisk, cold, refreshing beer. So I'll have to take those 5 buckaroos and gallivant over maybe to the gas station. All right, B-Mags. B-Mags is currently starting Devin Neal and Kamani Vidal at the flex. Some of his other options include Michael Pittman. I'm going to type this into the chat just so that we can all see it here. I'm in Baden-Württemberg, which is Stuttgart. It's I'm near Stuttgart. Um, Super legacy city. It's like really German. Not a lot of internationals. I mean, there's a lot of military, but not a lot of like English speaking companies. It's slightly better weather. The people here are known as pretty posh. They're known as being cheap and posh. That's kind of like the. All right, let's see. Neil, Vidal, Pittman, Strange, Irving, and Bam. Start two, I believe, right? B-Mags. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure you're not gonna sit Dowdle and Kyron or Metcalf against Buffalo. All right, man. B-Mags. B-Mags currently has Neal and Vidal in, and he's curious if he should put in Pittman, Strange, Irving, or Bam. Pittman against the Texans. I'm not too sure, B-Mags. I don't know how much I like that, dude. Texans are Texans are currently sixth best against wide receivers. They've only given them 3 touchdowns the last 4 weeks. Actually, a little bit worse than I thought they'd be. 73 targets to wide receivers, so teams are still throwing on them. Interesting, dude. I think Pittman might actually be good this week. Let's have a look. Indianapolis plays the Texans. Who do plays zone? 77% of the time, it's seventh most. And against zone, Pittman is actually kind of him. 47 receptions for 496, 0.46 fantasy points per route run against zone. Damn, B-Mags. I understand, man. I understand why that's a tough decision. Honestly, I would go Pittman over Neal, man. I would go Pittman over Neal. This is a divisional game. Could be back and forth. Both teams really need to win this. Like I said, if the Texans win this game, they flip the table. It's a two-game swing, right? Because divisional rivals. So I'd go with Pittman over Neal. I'll tell you why, dude. I'll tell you why Neal is a little bit sketchy this week. If we look at the last 4 weeks, we see that the Miami Dolphins are actually 11th best against running backs, dude. They have not given up a single touchdown to running backs the last 4 weeks, man. Not one touchdown, not even one. Um, they were getting absolutely dunked on, dude, early in the season, but I don't know what happened, dude. Did they fire their offensive coordinator? They did something. I thought they were gonna fire Mike McDaniel. And I guess the team, dude, they had a little bit of that secret stuff, that special liquid. Um, I'm not too confident about Neal this week, man. I know he's in a spot to produce, but I don't know if I love that. And yeah, Strange, I love him this week, Fizz. Um, he's kind of their most trusted player, right? He's been their leading receiver. I mean, leading tight end in terms of he's been leading the team in yardage at the tight end position, right? Now you add a little, you throw a little bit of a wrench into that equation with the return of Brian Thomas, but I don't know. I feel like Brian Thomas impacts the wide receivers more than it impacts the other, um, more than it impacts Strange, rather. They lost their Coke plug, probably, dude. Their Coke pimp is on vacation at the moment for sure. Sidonia Knight, the Knights of Sidonia, but Knight with an N. Superflex QB roster is struggling. Do I play Shadur or Mariota? Damn, damn. Shador against the 49ers in a 35.5 over under. That puts the Browns at what, 15 points projected? Right? Kind of bad at math. And Judkins maybe gets a touchdown. That leaves what, 9 points left for Shador to accrue fantasy points. That is a tough one, man. But I know Mariota has a really tough matchup as well. The toughest matchup, right, against the Broncos. Let's drill down and have a closer look at how the Broncos have been playing the last 4 weeks. Probably a good idea. Fourth best, giving up 9 fantasy points to quarterbacks on average. Holy shit! The last 4 weeks. Throw Woody in there, Sidonia. Throw Woody in there, dude. Don't look. Mariota could still get home off of like some like cheesy rushing, maybe trash time, garbage time, but I feel like I'd rather just throw Woody in there. I'd rather just throw Woody in there. I mean, it gives you something to cheer for too, right? In that Colts Texans game, which is going to be a dope ass game, I think. It's not that brutal. I'm honestly, Sidonia, I have a similar issue in one of my fucking super flex leagues. Let me have a look. I got Geno Smith and Mariota, bro, and I'm like, do I just sit Mariota for like Tootin or Ty Johnson? Like, I'm honestly having the same dilemma. Even Geno, I think Geno is also playing the Chargers. It's also a tough one. So I feel you, bro. I'm personally starting the quarterback because I don't have a better option. But fuck it, dude. We'll do it live. We'll do it live, man. I turned off subscribers only mode. I had it as subscriber only. What do you guys think? Should I keep it as just the boys? Open it up. Why not? Why not get some more friends? Let's get some more friends in here, dude. Help some people out. You could snag Brosmer off the wire. I feel like everybody could snag Brosmer, dude. And if he is not yet to be snagged, is it really a snag? Um, I wouldn't pick up and start Brosmer against the Seahawks. Like Jawan Johnson is probably a better start than Max Brosmer. Yeah, go with Woody. He is due for another game. Bro, Cam, as soon as I turned off subscriber only, you just know D Silva is about to hop in here with another dissertation for us to grade. Was it B Silva or D Silva? I forgot. Dude comes in here every week. Dude comes in here every week. He's like, "Yo, set all my lineups. Set every lineup in every league for me." Yeah, we'll open it up. We'll open it up. The thought process was keeping it subscriber only for I don't know. It's a little give and take, right? We're helping people out. All it takes is a sub. You can just unsubscribe as soon as it's over. Everybody wins, or not. Ideally, you stick around. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of doing that kind of stuff, dude. Like exclusive gated, access and stuff like that. Like I don't know. I prefer to just like, yo, here's the info, here's all the shit. If you guys want to support, support. At least for now. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, Miracle QBs. Like Max Brosmer, if Max Brosmer had himself a little bit of a profile, had a little bit of, I don't know, a curriculum vitae of work, of past work, maybe we can put him in. If you had a resume that we can look at. Yeah, Sidonia, I will definitely keep this in mind when the games start later today. I'm going to be remembering Mariota, Woody. What else did you say? Mariota, Woody, Shador, Jawan. I'm going to be cheering for Woody for sure, man. Dude, it sucks, man. I hate giving people advice, especially if it's like acute advice about this specific week and it doesn't go, the way we think. I always feel so bad, dude. I like remember almost all of them in these live streams or on the Discord. It's like, fuck, dude. Somebody asked me about Jameson Williams this week. Max Brosmer, he was selling hot dogs at the stadium. Is that true? He definitely has a little bit of Mexican. He definitely has a little bit of a Mexican stash, right? Selling Dodger dogs, LA Dodger dogs. He didn't even get signed from the Minnesota stadium. He was at the LA stadium selling hot dogs. They're like, yo, you're coming back home with us, brother. Two for $5. Two for five. I'm half Hispanic, guys. It's okay. I can make the racist jokes. I don't even think they're racist, man. I feel like Hispanics hold it down on the hot dog realm. You can hold it against me, Sidonia. That's the whole point of this YouTube channel, man. Like, I try to give advice that is like somewhat rooted in some type of like data. You know, I don't know. Maybe the boys in here can validate or confirm. Like, I try not to go with like my gut ever. I'm never just like, you know what, dude, I feel like Sutton's gonna be great this week. Gadsden or Waller? Ah, you got to go with Gadsden, Mateo. You got to go with Gadsden, brother. Let me tell you why. The Saints have actually been pretty good against tight ends the last 4 weeks. We just talked about this a little bit earlier. They're 19th best. They've only given up one touchdown. Um, while Aronde Gadsden, Chargers, playing against the Raiders. Oh, shit. Hold up. The Raiders have actually been cooking against tight ends. Hold up, dude. We need to help Mateo out here real quick. The Raiders have actually been cooking against tight ends the last 4 weeks, guys. 6.8 fantasy points allowed per game. And they've been fourth best on the season. Damn. Gadsden isn't as good as the start that I thought, man. I could have sworn I was doing some research and that Gadsden was going to cook this week, but damn. Darren Waller, dude, do we feel confident though starting him in his first game back? Dude's got a tit injury, man. He's got a pec injury. You know what, man? I'd go Waller there. If these numbers don't lie, dude, if these numbers are straight up Shakira and they're not lying to us, the Saints are a better matchup against tight ends. They've given up 5 touchdowns the last 4 weeks, or on the season rather. I'd go with Darren Waller. This team is starving for pass catching options, man. What's up, AJ? I think I remember you, AJ, from past live streams. Welcome back, bro. Parker Washington, Jacoby Myers, or Keenan Allen. Damn, that's like the battle of wide receiver fours. All right, let's help our boy out. First of all, let's look at the over unders. We got Jags Titans 42.5 over under. This could be a run. This could just be them running the ball. Or did you mean Jacoby Meters? Um, this is a tough one, AJ. This is essentially the breakdown. This is the way I'm looking at it. Jaguars could just run the fuck out of the ball on the Titans, you know? And then you're like flipping a coin between Washington and Myers. Now you add Brian Thomas, you add Strange, who was the leading receiver for them. You now have like 4 or 5 bona fide legit receiving options for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I personally wouldn't want to start any of them at this point because it's essentially the roulette, right? It's essentially Russian roulette over here. You got 6 bullets or 5 bullets, and you're hoping it lands on your guy, you know? So Keenan Allen has kind of been dog watered, right? Keenan Allen hasn't done shit the last couple of weeks. Let's have a look. I mean, 4 for 53, it could be worse, I guess, but before that, he seems to be getting phased out of the game plan a little. Let's look at the zone versus man coverage. The Chargers, where are they at? All right. Okay. This is interesting. I don't know if you're still here, AJ, but the Chargers are playing the Raiders, who play zone the fifth most, 78.1% of the time. And when we look at the production, we see that Keenan Allen, not only is he third on the team in routes run, he's number one in receptions. 40 for 442. He averages, or he gets zero point 0.5 fantasy points per route run. He is by far and away their best zone beating wide receiver. And Keenan Allen at this stage in his career, it's super simple. If it's zone, you play him. If it's man, you sit him because against man, he doesn't really do too hot, right? He still has the target rate, but from a production point of view, he's just not getting home. So I'd personally start Keenan there, and just avoid the roulette. of the Jags. That's just what I would do, man. That's a tough one. Parker Washington's also been pretty good. So let me know what you end up deciding on, though, AJ, if you're still in here, man. Let me try to catch up on the chat here. Sorry, guys. Maybe make this chat a little bigger so you guys can actually see what's going on. How's that? How is that looking? I do not have a chat plugin. I don't have any of the stuff, man. I am a complete noob. All right. Same dilemma. I can confirm the Raiders are holding Bowers scoreless. The Raiders are holding Bowers scoreless. I think I know what you meant there, Fizz. I think you meant the Chargers are going to hold them scoreless. I also have Charbonnet, Addison, and Trey Tucker. So I don't like Addison with Brosmer. Trey Tucker against a very tough opponent. I mean, Trey Tucker's kind of the only guy they have, right? So they can kind of just throw the shadow coverage on him. No, you know what, dude? Go with Keenan, man. Just stick with Keenan. Charbonnet is definitely interesting. I'll tell you what, man. If it's half PPR, go Charbs. If it's full PPR, go Keenan. That's the way I'd approach that, man. Because, the Seahawks could win this game like 56 to fucking -3 somehow. So Mateo has a second question. Fizz, you're a Jacoby believer, Jacob believer. I also am a Jacoby believer from a talent point of view, man, but just the amount of pass catching options there is too damn high. The rent is too damn high. Pittman or Waller? Go with Pittman. We talked about him a little bit earlier, Mateo. It's actually a decent matchup for Pittman against the Texans. The Texans defense is amazing. It's never a good matchup, but he specifically is really good against zone, and the Texans play a lot of zone. So I think Pittman can probably get home. Him and Pierce are going to be both. They're both equally potent or equally competent against zone. And divisional games, bro, sometimes they get out of hand. Um, and this is kind of like a yeah, that's true, dude. Extra guac is right. Walker is playing hurt. That listen, AJ, Keenan and Sharps to me. Um, I honestly think that Charbonnet has the better chance to get 16 fantasy points. It's just gonna this could be just a complete blowout, right? Against Brosmer. Like they're 11.5 point favorites, brother. Charbonnet can get 2 touchdowns. Kenneth Walker can get another 2. Damn, that is a tough one, AJ. Like I think you can't go wrong with both. If it's PPR, I probably lean Keenan, but if it's half PPR, I go Sharp. That's my final answer. Yeah, the Raiders are killing their own tight ends. Although I will say something, Fizz. I can't remember where I saw this or where I heard this. Um, the Raiders recently fired somebody, right? Raiders fire Chip Kelly, right? The dude who is replacing Chip Kelly, I wish I, dude, amateur hour over here. The guy who is going to be replacing Chip Kelly is going to be, if anybody knows, let your boy know in the chat. Greg Olson. Not Greg Olson, but Greg Olson. So I saw a stat about tight end production with Greg Olson. And supposedly, I wish I had the stat off the top of my head. Maybe there's some sleuths here in the chat that can look it up. Supposedly they play really well, and he really feeds set ends. I just took 3 minutes to say the most basic fucking piece of info. So yeah, Greg Olson, tight ends, upside. potential upside with Bowers. I don't know. I don't know how relevant that piece of info is, but it could be a Bowers get right situation. We don't know. We'll see. Let's see if there's any more news. Let's see if any more news came in. Quiet Sunday morning. That's definitely for sure, man. Temu Greg Olson. What's next? Tony Roma. Take back the $5 for that horrible joke, Cameron. No news, man. Maybe it's just a little too early. Nothing. Tyler Warren plans to play. Say that 5 times fast. Plans to play. Plans. No, I guess it's not too hard. Plans to play. Plans to play. Um, there's always fight compilation videos on Twitter that we can watch. Cam, I did miss one of your questions though. Franklin or Emeka? You got to go with Emeka, dude. You got to go with Emeka there. Brian Brian Gale. Thank you so much, bro, for the super chat. I think those are Canadian dollars. I appreciate it, man. We got Canuck. We got Canuck in the house, dude. Sharb, Tucker, Algier, or Michael Carter. Brian gets the elevated treatment here, man, for the super chat. We'll get back to the Mecca Franklin question, Cam. We'll get back to that, dude. So Charbonnet Tucker. So Tucker in a split backfield. I don't know. I still think he's going to get a majority of the touches this week, which makes him an intriguing option for sure, especially against the Cardinals, who their defense isn't great. So this could be one of those things where it's like Tucker popped off. We all then trusted him. We started him, did nothing. People are now dropping him and benching him, and he's going to pop off with Bucky coming back up to speed. That's the fear. That's the fear of not starting Tucker, right? Like I kind of just have a feeling. I don't want to give you advice on just a feeling. Excuse me. While Algier against the Jets and a super low over under, man, 38.5 over under. And the Jets, from what I can remember, their defense has actually been playing pretty well since all their trades, man. Let's look at the last 4 weeks. Where are they? I'm a dirty liar. They're 19th best. They've given up 4 rushing touchdowns, low over under. I don't think it's Algier. I think process of elimination. We're going to take out Algier and Carter. It's between Charbonnet and Tucker. Um, I think objectively, most people will tell you to just start Charbonnet, but I just have a feeling about Tucker, man. I just have a feeling if it's true and that they're only going to give Bucky Irving 20 to 25 snaps, not touches, but snaps. Crying baby in the background. Sorry, everybody. Hey, shut up! Hey, shut that baby up! Um, I think I'd go with Tucker, man. I think I'd go with Tucker, dude. I think this is going to be a fake out game. People are hella stoked to put um, Bucky Irving back in their lineups. I don't think they're going to give him more than 20 snaps. I think now the problem is that we still have Rashad White. So actually, I take that back. Pump fake, up and under, layup. Charbonnet is the safer play. Go with Charbonnet, man. I'm gonna officially respond. I'm gonna officially to respond that I can't. I hope you're still here, Brian. Go with Sharps. Yeah, I feel you, Brian, with the injury to Bam, but I don't know if I would trust Carter without like even with a banged up Bam. The team seems like adamant on just not giving Michael Carter any like traditional between the tackles runs. Now he could scam you and get a receiving touchdown or like some, a couple catches, but as far as I know, Bam is playing and he's probably going to get most of the goal line. So let's have a look, see what the situation is. Active on Sunday against Tampa Bay. Against Tampa Bay, I thought they're playing the 49ers. Oh, excuse me. They're playing the Buccaneers. That's even, yeah, definitely don't start anyone against the Bucks. For me, it's a simple calculus, man. Is Vita Vea playing? Good to go for week 11. All right. Where's the defensive lineman intern, man? We got to update these news reports. I'd go Sharps, Brian. Brian. Again, thank you for the super chat, bro. Emeka has been fading. That is true, but they're playing the Cardinals, man. They're playing the Cardinals. Godwin is back. Franklin. Has Franklin been someone we can trust? Cam. Cam, you're coming in with the tough ones, man. 8. Dude, look at the target share on Franklin the past couple weeks. 10, 8, 10, 9, and 8. I can see why you're a little bit stumped on this one, Cam. I would go with Egbuka because I still think that Egbuka has like the big play potential. Like trust me, I know I spoke about him in one of my recent videos, dude. Since week 6, he has one game over 8 fantasy points, right? But the target share, man, we know that he can still break one. I would go with Egbuka, but I understand why you want to go Franklin. I think most sane, logical fantasy football players would probably go with Franklin. They'd make the pivot, spot the trend, make the pivot. But I think Egbuka is a stud, and if he's going to be bad 3 weeks, good one, bad 2 weeks, maybe he's good again. I don't know. That's a tough one, Cam. Let me know what you end up going with, dude. Hit me up in the Discord. I wanna know if you went with your gut. What's up, Brandon? How am I feeling about real quick though, Taysom Hill, that game is coming, dude. It's coming soon. I feel like it could be this week with Devin Neal as the starter. But Michael Wilson, now that Marv is back, and you're thinking about doing Marv and Wilson, so you're thinking about stacking both of them instead of Pearson Wilson. Ooh, I understand your predicament. There's a dude in my league who has pretty much the same exact predicament. I think exactly the same. Let me just have a look. So he's got Michael Wilson, Marv, and Alec Pierce. That's crazy that he has the same exact. Are you fucking Peter? Is that you, Peter? Is that your burner? Brandon Phillips? Or more like Peter Jang? Are you Korean? Um, Same predicament. This dude's going with Wilson. Peter Jang, the Korean, is going with Wilson. So Marvin is officially active for week 13. The team did say that Wilson, he's going to be more involved. We already had a look at the Colts. I'm sorry I'm taking so long on this, but Brandon, this is a tough one, dude. I want to try to help you out, man. Shut that baby up. Um, the Texans play a shit ton of zone. Alec Pierce is actually really effective against zone, but not as effective as Pittman. So this could be a Pittman game. That's why me personally, in such a good matchup, Cardinals, Buccaneers, the Buccaneers secondary has been just getting absolutely beat up, dude. I don't think you're crazy to start both of them. I think there's a chance they can both pop off. Alec Pierce, he's been great. He had like one down game, and now people are kind of hesitating on him. But against the Texans, I don't think multiple people can eat against the Texans. I think this is going to be like a Jonathan Taylor, and maybe Pittman can get home as well, or Pittman and Downs randomly because the Texans play so much zone. I don't know if there's going to be enough production to go around, and you're going to feel real sad if that roulette ball doesn't land on Pierce. You know what I'm saying? It's just such a difficult matchup. While with Marvin and Wilson, you're getting one of the best matchups in fantasy football, right? Like the last 4 weeks. I hope you're still here, Brandon. I'm fucking rambling at this point. The Buccaneers are 32nd in the NFL the last 4 weeks against wide receivers, dude. Dead last. So starting both of them, I get it. That's what I would do if I were you. Then one of them is bound to do something. If you start both, you won't feel so sad, right? That's the way I see it. But that's a tough one, dude. That's a tough one. Um, that is a tough one. Sorry, let's try to catch up here. If Jason gets tired on his fifth trip to the end zone, he might hand it to Charbs. That is true, dude. JSN gets the biggest piece of chicken, dude. JSN comes home from work. The big piece of chicken better be on his plate, dude. Once he's done eating, everyone else can get the scraps. So that might be a strike against Charbs, but I still think in a game like this, which they should be able to handle them pretty easily. I think it's probably Jason who takes a backseat sooner. Like let's think about it. In a neutral game script, Charbonnet still gets goal line. In a blowout, Charbonnet becomes like the lead back, right? They probably rest Kenneth Walker. Um, so there's a couple outs there. That's why I think Sharp. Do I drop Jackson Dart or Bashal Tootin and bring Marv out of IR? I mean, Charlie, if you can do some sneaky, probably illegal in your league to keep someone on IR who's not on IR. But if you can and get away with it, I would. But I would not drop Jackson Dart. I would drop Bashal Tune. Fucking pour one out, man. Rest in peace to the GOAT. Bashal Tootin, I will stand by this, was one of the most valuable handcuffs backup running backs to own. He just didn't get the luck of ETN getting injured. I know that sounds like a cope, but a bunch of other dudes were getting injured. Kamara, fucking a bunch of other starting running backs. James Conner. Like, why couldn't we get a little bit of luck, man? Why couldn't it be ETN? Um, Holy shit, I missed a bunch of chat. I missed a bunch of messages. Sorry, guys. My name is actually Brandon Phillips, and he's black. All right, well, close enough. Koreans, blacks. You guys, there's some overlap. The Venn diagram, there's a little bit of overlap. Koreans are dope. They got some rhythm. All right, I'm gonna stop there before I get fucking canceled. All right, would you consider benching Sutton, Jacoby, or Indiana Jones to give Bowers another shot? Physical. I would. I would bench Jacoby for Bowers personally. It's like what we said earlier, Fizz. There's just so many damn mouths to feed for the Jaguars, and uh, I think out of all of them, Jacoby Myers probably has the best odds to hit. But you can make the case for Parker as well. You can also make the case for Brian Thomas. So I don't know. Vidius is still watching F1. It's okay, Vidius. That's understandable. DeMercado and Benson are out. Bam is questionable. I don't know, man. I still don't know if I want to start Michael Carter. Apologies if you already answered this. BMAX, Stroud, or Baker. Baker's injuries makes me hesitant. Um, I didn't already answer it, but let's help our boy BMAX. All right, dude. So we get the Cardinals for Baker. How are the Cardinals doing against quarterbacks? Where are they? So the Cardinals are kind of cooking. Koreans and dude, is it okay to say blacks? If I said Koreans and blacks, like, should I say? Is there a different word for like plural black dude? The blacks, Koreans and the blacks. Yeah, they fry the hell out of some chicken. Oh man, I went to South Korea last year, man. A year ago in May. They can fry the fuck out some chicken, dude, and they got the spice. They understand the spice, man. Brandon Phillips, man, joke of the year for sure. I'm gonna hit Brandon Phillips with a pin message. Nah, I think the blacks. I think the blacks is politically correct. I think the only subculture you can't say the is if you're talking about Jews. You can't say the Jews, and then you're in some trouble. Um, oh man, they can definitely fry the fuck out some chicken, dude. 49ers versus Browns, a snowy game. Is it really heck? Is it gonna be a snow game? Damn. I guess I'm fading Shador Sanders now. Kittle or Strange? Heck, if you're right about the weather, I don't know if you want to play Kittle, right? Like it's a tough defense to begin with. Let's look at how the Browns have been doing against tight ends, though. The Browns are all right. They're 18th against tight ends, but they haven't given up a touchdown. Kittle's still in play, but if the weather is as bad as you say, let's see. San Francisco versus Cleveland weather. I mean, just read that headline, dude. Nasty weather wreaking havoc. Ooh, how bad are we talking here, though? A high of 39, just a little bit windy. Is that what the hell? The video was sped up, dude. I thought people were getting stun locked by the wind. Yeah, I don't know. Heck, Kittle or Strange? Look, man, you're gonna go with Kittle. If Brock Purdy is the quarterback, Kittle, like, if they can't throw the ball, they're gonna like hand it off to him or something, dude. They're dead set on Kittle getting touchdowns, man. It seems like every time Purdy's in the game. Like, and with Strange, the problem, and I think this answers your question as well, right, Cam? Killer Strange. The problem with Strange is that although he's been kind of the leader a couple times when it comes to yardage, you now add Brian Thomas to that, so that's just like a tiny bit of a wrench in the equation. So could be a bad game for Purdy as well. Heck, you're right, but damn, dude, that is a tough one, man. Yeah, good luck, Brandon. Take care, man. Take care, brother. Um, Fizul. Yeah, Fizul. You have to take one for the team, man. You're starting you're starting Bowers. You sat Jacoby, so that opens the door for Jacoby to have a pop off game. It is hard to bench Kittle, bro. Like Strange. Look, he had a good game, but I still think that this offense wants to run the ball. I think the Jags are like fourth in the NFL in run rate, um, where they're just running the fuck out of the ball, and they have an easy matchup on top of it. So I don't know if Strange is really going to be that needed, right? While I do think the Browns could just lock down the run game, Kittle might be actually needed, man. Even in bad weather, like they actually might have to feed Kittle in order to move the ball because I don't know if you want to start wide receivers against the Browns, right? Like I feel like against wide receivers, there aren't many teams better than them. Let's have a look. They're an absolute number one against wide receivers. They are what number two against and oh, never mind. They've been getting clapped by running backs. I'll just go with Kittle, man. Yeah, I'd go with Kittle. I do think their wide receivers are going to be struggling. It's going to be like a CMC Kittle game, I think. Uh, yeah, I think we missed a question. J Dabs, what's up, J Dabs? PPR sit one with the Amon-Ra St. Brown donut. Damn, bro. Sorry to hear that, man. Um, I started Lamar Jackson, bro, so I'm feeling the pain. ETN, Jalen Warren, Judkins, Olave, and you need to sit one of them. ETN and Olave are probably in. The Dolphins. Let's look though. I think the Dolphins have been pretty good against wide receivers lately. Let's just make sure. 16th. I think you keep Olave in there, especially because it's PPR. Etienne and Olave are the for sure's. It's now between Warren and Judkins. Damn, bro. Jalen Warren has such a good matchup. Fuck, dude. Let me think about this, man. Let me think. Hold up, J Dabs. All right. So the Bills are 22nd worst, right? Against running backs the last 4 weeks. They've only given up 2 touchdowns, though. Um, Kenneth Gainwell also kind of popping off, but Judkins gets a low. I think you sit Jalen Warren, man. I think you sit Jalen Warren there, bro. It looks like Kenneth Gainwell's taking this man's lunch money. Baker or Jackson Dart? I'm going with Jackson Dart, dude. I'm not sitting Jackson Dart. There's like two quarterbacks I would start over Jackson Dart at this point, man. Um, I'm just so sad I didn't start Jackson Dart over Lamar. Like I'm cooked this week anyway. I'm playing against actual fucking like God himself. Homie has 75 fantasy points already with 4 players. Like I'm absolutely cooked. But anyway, I'd go Jackson Dart over Baker. But just to make sure, let's look at how the Cardinals doing against quarterbacks. Dude, I'm so fucking blind. Without the logos, I just can't. I don't know why half the logos are missing. Um, 25th worst. Baker or Jackson Dart? What would you guys do there? Jackson Dart in a really tough matchup, but he's kind of a cheat code, or Baker in a pretty decent matchup, but his receiving options are kind of letting him down. I feel like Baker has kind of been. Uh, I feel like Baker has not been that good lately, right? I got to rip the vape and peer into the smoke and find the answers to this. Yeah, I mean Baker has not eclipsed 25 fantasy points since week 5. So Jackson Dart gets that shit in his sleep against some of the best teams in the NFL, right? I mean, he had 29 fantasy points against Denver, 23 against Philly, 27, 26. Dude, he had 26 fantasy points against the Chicago Bears in 3 quarters, man. Technically in 2 quarters because he got injured early in the third quarter. So I'm not sitting Jackson Dart for pretty. There's like, I don't know, man. Like, I might kiss Jackson Dart if I ever met him. Like, let alone benching him. Come on. And yeah, dude, Jalen Warren not getting any targets and them pretty much giving the job exclusively to Kenneth Gainwell. That needs to be studied. Someone needs to analyze the fall off. I want to share with you guys a trade that I made. I literally fucked my season up making this trade. I didn't want to tell you guys. I didn't want to go into the Discord. I didn't want to share this info, but I come with my hat in my hand, dude, kicking the dirt, shuffling the feet, and I come to you guys, Fizzle and Cameron. You guys are going to love this. I traded Chase Brown. I traded Chase Brown 2 weeks ago. I traded him for Jalen Warren. Here's the trade. You guys can see it. I did it on the 18th. I did it before last week's games. Or no, sorry. I did it before the Cincinnati. When did I do it? I did it before the Chicago game. Sorry. I traded Chase Brown for Lamar and Jalen Warren. Here was the thinking. P. Ryan coming back, plus Jackson Dart was on IR for me. Or not on IR. He was on the shelf plus a bye week. Or he was just on the shelf. I was 10-10 at the time. I needed to make a run. I needed to make a run. I've lost the last 2 weeks, essentially because of Lamar. I started him last week thinking it was going to be an explosion game against Cincinnati or against the Jets. Sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm all over the place here. I got Lamar before the Jets game and Jalen Warren as well. Lamar Jackson has 2 weeks in a row done fuck all for me. Chase Brown has remained really involved, hasn't had a touchdown, but he's still getting over 100 all scrimmage yards or all purpose yards. So I had faith in Chase Brown, dude. I was the biggest tout, and I traded him away, dude. I'm embarrassed to even share this info with you guys, but I have to let you. I have to come clean. I had to come clean, man. I just heard a big crash from my living room. My wife is solo taking care of the baby. I might have to run soon, but I think we're gonna call it here anyway, guys. I think that's a good place to start on a somber note that I traded Chase Brown away. I've forsaken him, dude. I've forsaken him. Yeah, I made a great trade, just not for me. You know what's the funniest part, bro? The funniest part is that the dude that I traded him to was already the number one dude in our league. He's 17-7. He's probably going to get the bye. Chase Brown had hooked him up 2 weeks in a row. It also allowed him to start Stafford with confidence, right? He didn't actually start Lamar those weeks, and Stafford has been doing fine for him. So, yeah, man, had to come clean. So, the Chase Brown, the Chinese Chase Brown jerseys that are en route, I might have to send them back. So, we will not be a full Chase Brown Discord community anymore. But we're gonna call it there, guys. We're gonna call the live stream. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you could get Lamar and you didn't, that's pretty dumb. You got to do that. I know, man. I know, but like, I asked the dude that I traded with. I was like, "Did you have some inside baseball, some inside info about Lamar Jackson? How did you know he was gonna be like, you know, 7 fantasy points bad 2 weeks?" And I don't know. I mean, obviously he didn't know, but yeah, I thought it was a good trade because I thought Jalen Warren would. I honestly thought Jalen Warren could just match Chase Brown rest of the season. Like looking at the matchups, I was like Cincinnati, Chicago, Buffalo, Baltimore, Miami. Like those are all pretty decent matchups. I didn't know Kenneth Gainwell was going to become literally like Mahatma Gandhi mixed with Ladainian Tomlinson. But anyway, we'll cut the stream there, man. We can talk about it more on the Discord. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, man. Good luck with all your matchups. And I'll be around the Discord, dude. We'll be watching the watching the games. I've single-handedly pumped up the Chase Brown numbers already. So, but that does it. Fizz, Cam, everybody else, thank you guys. Good luck in all your guys' matchups. Genuinely hope you guys cook. Hope you guys win your matchups, and I'll catch you guys on Monday, man. We'll do a waiver wire video again. I changed it up last week. I did a couple different videos, and they actually performed really well, man. The Thursday or Friday and Saturday videos, they performed really well, dude. The subs started going up again. I feel like I'm excited about next season. Excited to see how I can fine tune the content, do more stuff that people actually want to see, and just thank you guys for always showing up, always just being dope, and being probably the best part of this football season, in my opinion. Just talking with you guys. But anyway, that does it, man. Good luck to everybody, and I'll catch you guys on Monday. Peace.